Hey everybody, this is Mike Guillaume from Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast. I am back to give you my picks and predictions for the conference semifinals coming up today, Wednesday, as well as tomorrow, Thursday. 4 games in all. I am going to give you my breakdowns on what's going to happen in these matchups. As we've discussed, usually not pretty, my picks and predictions, as it goes with any picks and predictions. But I'm going to give them to you anyway. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit like and subscribe down below. A big shout out to Mr. Woody, great name by the way, giving us a subscribe and a comment on the my last episode of Picks and Predictions for the opening weekend of the MLS Cup Playoffs, as well as a few likes that we got last week. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast, Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast, bringing you everything American soccer over the week that is. Every Tuesday night we record. I actually just got home from Nick's place where we were recording our latest episode, which is hit. So make sure you find us on your favorite podcast catcher and subscribe to our stuff and give it a listen. Anyways, let's get right into these games here. A couple games starting out tonight. The first game on the slate is New York City FC, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, hosting Toronto FC, the number 4 seed from the Eastern Conference. So TFC coming off a big extra time victory over DC United. Heading into New York, playing at Citi Field. A little bit of a home field advantage gone awry for from Yankee Stadium for NYCFC. New York City FC has had their struggles in the postseason. It is well documented. They have been a strong force throughout the regular season, but once it comes to playoff time, it has not been pretty for them. They are making the field as small as it is at Yankee Stadium to keep that little bit of home field advantage that they have. This one, it comes down to the question marks of the injuries for Toronto FC. So Josie Altidore and Omar Gonzalez did not play against DC United in that first round matchup at BMO Field. Questions are, will they play in this one? Will they be fully fit, ready to go? As well, a couple knocks picked up by TFC. Mavinga and Delgado out as well. Rustiness for New York City FC. Will they be rusty coming off an 18-day layoff? Only time will tell. As far as my picks and predictions, I think that New York City will do what it takes to get that monkey off their back and get a playoff victory. My pick is New York City FC to win the game and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. The next game up on the slate for tomorrow night, or tonight, Wednesday night, depending on when you're watching this, is going to be Seattle Sounders hosting Real Salt Lake. Seattle coming off a huge, crazy victory over FC Dallas at home at CenturyLink Field. FC Dallas really came out to play in that one, so you got to give credit to them, but Seattle found a way to get it done through Jordan Morris. Real Salt Lake beat out Portland Timbers at the Riot, the Rio T, whatever you want to call it. So this is a good matchup, a 2-3 matchup there in the Western Conference. Seattle just seems to be the better team as far as the playoff experience, which I think will definitely help them going through this game. I think it's a fairly even matchup. Real Salt Lake played extremely well against Portland, and they've got a strong squad. But my pick in this one is Seattle Sounders to win. And just based off that home field advantage at CenturyLink, it's going to be tough for a team to go in on the road and get the job done. So my pick, Seattle Sounders. Now we move over to Thursday night. Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, we have Atlanta United hosting Philadelphia Union. Philadelphia coming off a huge victory over New York Red Bulls. Unbelievable game. We talked about that on our podcast, so make sure to check that out to hear our recap on that game and a little bit of history about Dupe. They're going to go on the road and face Atlanta, one of the strongest teams in the Eastern Conference. Atlanta, I just can't see them losing at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, especially against a team like Philadelphia, who even struggled to get past the Red Bulls, who have been in a bit of disarray. So my pick in this game is Atlanta United to move on and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, setting up a matchup, at least of my predictions, against New York City FC. Lastly, the game that we've all been waiting for in the playoffs, this setup, the way the brackets came out, it was just destined to be the El Tráfico, LAFC, hosting LA Galaxy. Galaxy get it done on the road at Minnesota, the only road team to win in the first round of the playoffs. And they head to LAFC, the best team in league history, with probably the best player in league history in Carlos Vela. But they've got this guy Zlatan Ibrahimovic who thinks he's the best player in league history. This one, it should be a game for the ages. It probably will not live up to that, but I think it will be. Look, LAFC has never beaten LA Galaxy in the few times they've played. They've only played, I believe, 4 or 5 times. So not a huge sample size to go by, but they've never gotten it done against LA Galaxy. So I'm sure the LAFC fans are sweating this one a little bit. My prediction in this game is LAFC at home will beat the Galaxy for the first time and move on to the Western Conference Finals to face Seattle and host Seattle. So there you have it. There's my picks and predictions for the conference semifinals here on Wednesday and Thursday night. Thank you for checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe down below to never miss any action from Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast here on YouTube, as well as make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Find us on Twitter at SOP Soccer. We'll get in the conversation. Let us know what you want to hear about. Talk to us through DMs, comment on our stuff. We'll get into the conversation with you. We're a small growing podcast, but we are getting bigger and bigger every single week. So thank you to our listeners and our subscribers. Enjoy this soccer. It's going to be fun on Wednesday and Thursday, getting ready for the conference finals in just about a week's time. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night, have a good day, and enjoy that soccer.